It is 1 hour. It is officially 1 hour after I took my medicine. I can start feeling the, what do you call them? The effects of the medicine. Like, I could start feeling it now. It's like, the way to explain it is like tingling, tingling like behind your head, on your nose. Like, it just feels tingly. Like, it's almost like when you smoke cannabis and you feel like that tingly feeling, you know, when you start feeling like you're that's how it feels like. I just feel like it's weird. It is so weird. But yeah, I could definitely, my body is like, fudge. My body's like, you know, yeah, I'm starting another little octopus. It's gonna be for a keychain, so it's looking super super nice. I'm actually super focused on it, and yeah, I'm just focused on this, watching some YouTube, and I feel good. Like, I'm starting to feel really good. Like, my body's just, I don't know, it feels lighter. It's weird. But my brain's settling. Like, I don't feel jumpy inside. Like, my body feels like it's fine. Like, earlier I was like jumpy, like just too hyper, and too hyper for my, not for my liking, but basically too hyper for myself. Like too much, you know. It's too much, and I'm by myself, so I didn't want to like get too crazy. Like, not like mentally crazy, but I get too hyper sometimes, and I start acting a fool. So I don't want to act the fool. And so yeah, I'm pretty mellow, I think. And it's not even like halfways. Like, I feel like the meds aren't even like kicking in completely. They're maybe like at a 40% kicked in, and 60 still needs to kick in, but it's doing its thing. It's just such a weird feeling, like such a different feeling, you know, when you take these medicines, these medications for ADHD. It just completely like slows down your brain, slows down your speech, slows down, I don't know. It's just I feel good though. I feel really good. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I just feel good. Like, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed that I'm able to take medication to help me, because I know a lot of people are against medication, but for me, it has helped me a lot, like a lot. But the thing is that you need to be on the correct medication. You need to be on the right dosage, the right med, you know, because for a while I was misdiagnosed with just like severe clinical depression and severe anxiety. Like, that was my diagnosis. And so it was just that, and I never really, I guess, questioned it. But then again, I did, because I always felt like there was something else. Like, I knew I was depressed, but I knew there was like some underlying like condition as to why I was depressed. So when I was prescribed antidepressants and all that stuff for anxiety, like, it helped. Don't get me wrong, it helped a little bit, but it wasn't completely successful, I guess. But so yeah, it helped a little bit. It did kind of make my mood swings more tolerable, because I was like a roller coaster. Like, my mood swings, like, I was up and down all day. Like, I could switch like this, like, so fast, in a matter of like minutes, or even like seconds sometimes. Like I could be like in such a bright good mood, like on top of the world, just very happy, very bubbly, and then like something happens and it just would bring me down like this. And it's so hard, it was so hard for me to like get out of that, like I would call it like a black like hole. Like I felt like I was just stuck, I can't get out. Horrible feeling. And there's nothing that makes you happy. There's no food, no nothing, because you know, even though like if somebody was to bring me my favorite food, I would not care. If somebody played my favorite song, I would not care. If somebody invited me to go do something, I didn't want to go. Like I'm just like in this dark, just negative, like it's just, that's depression, you know what I mean? And so when I was there in that state, like I didn't want to do anything, I didn't care to talk, I just shut down, and I just wanted to escape. Like I just wanted to go and hide under a freaking like rock somewhere far with nobody. Like that was everything that was going on through my head at the time. So yeah, looking back, it's incredible how the correct or the right medication can help you. But yeah, I was misdiagnosed for like, I want to say like a year and a half or 2 years. Look at how cute. I was misdiagnosed, and you know, I was like just like going on meds, and it kind of made me feel like almost like I was like, I know you hear this term a lot, like a zombie type, and it doesn't necessarily mean like a zombie quite literally, but it made me feel nothing. Like it kind of made me feel numb to things. So instead of getting upset about something, I'd just be like, it doesn't matter. Or instead of getting super excited, because I'm the type of person, or I was the type of person before my medications, that I would like get so passionate, so excited about a certain thing, or like an activity, or or like something that I was gonna do, or a concert that I was gonna go to, and I would be like so excited, like jumping up and down, like just talking about it nonstop. And so I used to be that way. And so whenever I started taking the medications that I was taking, they just kind of like had me just kind of like flat. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I just didn't, like, not that I didn't care, I just didn't, I didn't get excited, I didn't get mad, I didn't get happy. Like it's literally like I had a monotone mood. I don't know if that's a thing, but I didn't have like desire for anything. Like I didn't care. Like if I stayed home and I didn't do nothing, it was fine. If I went out and did something, it was all right. I didn't care for it. Like I just didn't care for it. Or if I was like, you know, I heard that some, you know, a concert's gonna happen or something, and it's my favorite artist, like I didn't care. Like I was just like, oh, that's cool, yeah, like let's go, and that's it. Like buy tickets and that's it. But like I wouldn't be ecstatic. And that was like my personality. Oh, look at how cute. That was my personality. Like part of my not my personality, but part of my personality. And so just kind of losing that, kind of, you know, I felt like I was losing myself. So I don't know, I just always felt like there's something more. And I started joining like ADHD groups on Facebook, and I would read about people's experiences, and I'm just like, I could relate to them so much. And something in the back of my brain was just kept knocking and hitting me and being like, hey, like, see a different psychiatrist and tell them, you know, about it, or they can test you. Because the psychiatrist that I had, whenever I mentioned ADHD, like he laughed. He literally laughed and was like, oh no, like you don't have that, like you know. But how is he gonna know? Like he didn't test me for nothing, you know. So I just kind of like dealt with it. But then I decided, no, I didn't switch. Actually, the psychiatrist that I had was moving on to do something else, like still you know, in the field, but something else. And so I got somebody else, and it's crazy because I'm just like, the first time I told him, I said, you know what, doctor? I was like, I feel like I have ADHD. I'm like, I don't know, like, I just, like, I just feel like I have something, like, and I told him about the Facebook group that I joined, and, and he didn't even ask me, like, nothing further besides, he said, all right, he's like, you know what? He's like, let's get it out of the way. I'm gonna go talk to the higher up, like, I guess, psychiatrist or whatever, and then we'll be back and we're gonna assess you. And so I'm like, oh my Lord, like, finally, even if I didn't have it, at least I would know. So I had never been tested or anything. And so he brought this list of questions for me. And he started, asking questions, started off with like, how were you in school when you were younger? How were your grades? How did you do, like, socially? Like, and I just told him. I said, I would get distracted a lot in class. I'd get in trouble because I'd be talking to my peers. And I was just, like, always distracted when the teacher's talking. Like, I'm just drawing stuff, thinking about other stuff. And it was pretty hard for me to get information on what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing from the teacher. Like, all the kids around me would, like, understand and, like, answer questions and do their stuff, and I'd always be sitting there just lost, like, what did she just say? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know what the heck just happened. Like, I'd just be so distracted that I wouldn't pay attention, and I never knew what we were doing. Like, I just knew that I wanted to talk to my friends and just tell them, like, stories and just, like, chit chat and make people laugh. Like, I was that kid, but I wasn't, like, the kid that people didn't like. Like, I was pretty, like, I guess, likable. Everybody thought I was so funny, and, like, I didn't care. Like, I was just a goofball, so I guess they kind of liked that. And, I liked it too. I was like, hey, like, so he asked me about that. He asked me that whenever my mom was pregnant of me, if I know if she used any drugs. And I said, I don't think so. I mean, not that I know of. And that's, like, a typical, like, response, I feel like, from somebody that has ADHD. I don't know why. I just feel like it is, like, something, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was like, I hope not. I don't know. And so he was like, all right. And so he asked me other stuff. He's like, does your mom use any, drugs? I was like, again, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure she doesn't. I was like, she used to, like, take a lot of, like, ibuprofen. I know you could be addicted to that too. So I feel like maybe that's what she had, but that's all I know. And so anyways, he kept asking me about, my life, about just everything. And he's like, oh, like, are you easily distracted? Like, whenever you're doing something, like, is it like a lot of things in your head, or is it just you're focused on that one thing? And I told him, I was like, oh no. I'm like, he's like, what about when you're driving? Like, are you just, like, focused on the road and thinking about where you're going? And I'm like, no. I was like, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about the concert that I went to last week. Oh my gosh, like, look at that tree. It's so nice. Look at the flowers. Oh my gosh. Wow, like, the sun looks really, really nice today. The clouds. And then I'm like, oh shoot, where am I going? Like, I missed the exit. And so he's like, oh man, like, right when I said that, he was just like, oh. And so anyways, he ends up, like, asking me about everything and questioning me and everything. And once he was done, like, he's like, all right, he's like, I'm gonna go talk to the other psychiatrist, and I'll come back with your results. And yep, little did I know. I mean, not little did I know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I lost my train of thought real quick because I was trying to figure out something. But anyway, so he comes back and he's like, wait, I messed this up. He comes back and right away he kind of, like, smiled, and he's like, oh, yup, 100%, like, ADHD. And I was like, oh, and, like, I was like, I knew it. And so, like, it was like a moment of such a crazy feeling, because it was just a moment of relief in a sense, because I was like, wow, like now it makes sense why I am the way I am. Like everything just kind of like came together, because as a kid I used to talk back to my mom all the time. I used to want to do whatever I wanted. I had like zero, like, I guess, control over anything, over my emotions, over anything, like nothing at all. And so when he told me that, I'm like, wow, that's why I would lash out on people. That's why my friendships always, like, you know, were like not working, because they would like do something and I would take it the wrong way. And then, you know, just I was very, very sensitive as a child, and I mean, I still am. But now that I am older, and now that I have seen like therapists and psychiatrists, now I know how to cope better with my emotions, and obviously the medication has helped a lot. So it made sense. I just felt relieved because of, you know, my diagnosis. And so I remember when he told me, he said, okay, we're gonna give you this medication and this should help for your ADHD. He said, you're gonna, right when you take it, within an hour, you're gonna notice everything's gonna be calm. Your brain's gonna be calm. You're gonna be focused on whatever you're doing. If you're washing the dishes, that's all you're gonna focus on. You're not really gonna have any other thoughts besides what you're doing. And I laughed. I just cracked, like chuckled in front of him and the other lady. And I just chuckled, and I was like, no. I'm like, nah, there's no way. Like, I was just laughing, like, there's no way. And they're like, oh, the guy was like, the psychiatrist said, oh, I'm so excited to see you in a week. Like, you're gonna be so different. And I laughed again, and I'm like y'all, you know, y'all messing with me. Like, no, stop bullshitting type of, you know. And he said, no, he's like, just wait. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, that made me more excited, I guess, and a little bit anxious to take my meds and to, you know, see this new, I guess, like, I don't know, life, I guess, that I could have on medication. And so, yep, I ended up getting my meds. I came home, and I even recorded myself. I'll have to look for the video, but I recorded myself, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm either, I think I said either I'm about to take my medication or I just took it or something like that. But anyways, I recorded. Look at how pretty. I recorded the process, I guess, like the difference, I guess, like once I took my meds and then once it kicked in, and like how I felt before and how I felt after taking them. And I cried, and I remember crying because for the first time in my life, my brain felt at peace. I didn't have 1,000 thoughts running per second in my head. I just felt calm. My brain was quiet. Like, I don't hear any, well, not, I don't physically hear things, but you know, if you have ADHD, it's like a bunch of radio stations on at the same time, like, and TVs and everything at the same time running. And so, or I would describe it as a bunch of little men in my head running around like laps, just nonstop, going different directions. Like, it's insane in there. And so whenever I felt that inner, like, silence, inner peace, silence, it was the weirdest feeling, like, not used to it at all. Like, it was out of this world type of thing. And it's almost like I put on a new, like, I wear glasses, but I felt like I put on a new pair of glasses to the whole world. Like, everything was just so different. And it's crazy because after that, like, I started taking my meds every day, and my life just changed completely. Like I'm not the, you know, I'm not that person anymore back then. I mean, I'm that person without my medication, but thank God when I'm on my medication, I am so different. Like, I could control my emotions better. I can speak better. I can communicate better with people, my feelings, my thoughts. I don't get as frustrated. I have more patience when I'm doing stuff. Like, I don't get worked up that quick. I can actually focus on something. I can speak properly. I can make eye contact with people, which back then I couldn't because it makes me nervous and I would just have anxiety. I used to like talk super fast, which I still do sometimes even right now. But when my meds wear off, you know, I can, once I start speaking and talking fast, I know my meds are wearing off. And once I get hungry, because I always want a snack. And on my meds, I don't really get hungry. So that's how I know that, you know, my meds are you know, working and all that. But yeah, I mean, being on medication has completely changed my life for the better, being on the correct medication. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but sometimes you need medications because our brains are not wired completely the correct way like everybody else is, you know. And so I feel like a lot of people don't want to take medications because they think that, oh, like that they're not mentally, I guess, unstable, or they're not crazy. How people say like, oh, well, why would I take meds, you know, I'm not crazy. And it's not that you're crazy, it's just that, you know, we have less of a chemical in our brains than other people. So that's the reason why we are the way we are. And so sometimes some people need a little bit of help, and it's okay. It's all right. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Because I know some people that are like not on meds, but they know they have ADHD, and I know that too because I see myself in them, but they don't want to take anything, and they don't want to go see a psychiatrist because, you know, they just say, oh, well, I'm not crazy, I'm not, like, I'm fine. Or there is a few people that I know that have took meds when they were younger, but it made them feel horrible, and they're afraid of, like, I guess, trying it now as, you know, they're grown up. But yeah, I just went on a little story time on about my diagnosis and how medication changed my life and everything. And yeah, I mean, so far so good. I made this one. Look at how cute. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to me and being here while I crochet my little octopus keychains. They're gonna be keychains, by the way. So thank you guys for listening. If you watched this whole video, leave me a, I don't know, leave me a rat on the comments, and something nice or something. I don't know, comment whatever you'd like, but leave me a rat just so I know you watched the whole video. And if you have any questions or comments about anything, go ahead and leave them down below, and I will answer you as best as I can. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I just got done with this one. I just need to sew in the bottom part, and we done. There he is. But all right, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.